morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, Tobago, and welcome this morning to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. It is Monday, the 31st of October, 2022. Be happy to be in your company. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning to Tobago. Good morning, Trinidad. Good morning, those of you viewing us in the Caribbean, and those of you on the live. Good morning, good morning. Unfortunately, Julian is not with us this morning. Some say they expected it. Yep. Bumper to bumper weekend this weekend, and so Julian is out for the day, but hopefully we will be able to check in with him by tomorrow morning, and he should be on the program. Well, viewers, like I said, it's Monday. It is the Monday after Carnival, the Carnival weekend here in Tobago. Some say it is Ash Monday. You never know, maybe we could coin a thing or two, but certainly it was an interesting weekend. And did the rain hold things back? No, it did not. So everything went ahead. Most activities went ahead as planned. Some had to change venues along the way, but certainly we are alive to tell the tale this Monday morning. But before we get into things, we want to head over to News in 90 Seconds with Candace.
Thank you, Ria. And I am Candace Jackson, and here is your news in 90 seconds for Monday, 31st October 2022. Patrons and organizers alike hailed the inaugural Tobago Carnival a success this weekend. Even though heavy rainfall threatened to dampen the revelry, patrons were not deterred. Juve celebrations on Saturday saw thousands of revelers converging in Bonaccord and Crown Point. The crowd was so large that only a few bands crossed the stage before the police cut off celebrations at 9:30 a.m. They then moved to the Mud is Life camp at the back of the airport for more revelry. Later on in the evening, the activities rolled into Roxborough for the Rox Glow Light Mass. While the rains held up all day for the Juve and Mud celebrations, it came pouring down in Roxborough, but it did not stop the mass. Revelers paraded through the rain, and artists like Nadia Batson, Fian Lyons, and Bungie Garland performed for a rain-soaked audience. The rains continued into Sunday morning, threatening the start of the parade of bands originally scheduled for 9 a.m. However, the rains eased by mid-morning, and the bands paraded all day under an overcast sky. At the end of the celebrations, stakeholders and organizers agreed that while it was not a perfect execution, the Tobago Carnival has the potential to grow and become a premier event on the Carnival calendar. Not wasting any time, the dates for next year's Tobago Carnival were released, and it is the 27th to the 29th of October 2023. And nationally, with murders crossing the 500 mark this weekend, Commissioner of Police McDonald Jacobs said a significant factor was the use of high-powered assault rifles. According to Jacobs, they are contributing to a rise in double and triple homicides. He promised that the police is doing all they can to crack down on illegal weapons. So far, for the year, the police have charged 1,211 people for gun-related offenses and seized over 580 guns. Of those, 102 are submachine guns, AR-15s, and AK-47s, weapons used by soldiers in war. And that was your news in 90 seconds. It is back to you, Ria.
Thank you so much, Candace, and I'm really happy that, in the midst of what has happened over this weekend, that there was no loss of life, there were no serious injuries. We had some trees falling in some areas. In one case, a tree falling on a house that resulted in the participants having to be taken to the hospital, but nothing serious. But then again, I may be saying nothing serious on my end, but our guest on set this morning would be able to clarify that for us. So just to let you know, in fact, before we get into, let's get into our birthday celebrations first, our birthday listings, before we get into what our rundown looks like. So let's see, there's some lovely persons celebrating their birthdays today. And starting us off this morning, we've got Assemblyman Zorisha Hackett celebrating her birthday today, looking quite lovely in her black, white, and green. All right, so Happy birthday going out to you this morning, Assemblyman Hackett, and from the Tobago Updates family. We've also got celebrating a birthday today, Jordan Lord celebrating his a birthday. Jordan, happy birthday going out to you, and love again from the Tobago Updates family. We've got Malika Andrews. Malika, love going out to you this morning from the Tobago Updates family. We've also got in the lineup here Sharon Alexander. Sharon Alexander, the wife of the pastor of the Patience Hill Open Bible Church this morning, celebrating her birthday. And love going out to you from the Open Bible family in Tobago, as well as the Tobago Update family. And I think as well we've got a very quick video here of KL Vincent. KL Vincent of Creative Signs is celebrating her birthday today, and KL, I understand, is the glue that helps hold the business together. So KL, love going out to you from my family, the Tobago Updates family, and the management and staff of Creative Signs. All right, from Joel and everybody, and yes, and everybody. All right, so love going out to you this morning. So that's our birthday lineup for today, and we've also got Dwayne Dyer. Dwayne Dyer celebrating a birthday, and I really thought we would have had a picture up of Dwayne Dyer this morning. I really expected that picture. However, I guess we'll get it a little bit later on in the program. All right, so Dwayne, love going out to you this morning from all of us here at Tobago Updates. So just to share with you viewers what's coming up on the program this morning. And before we even get into that, you know, even over the weekend, we saw a very, one would say, bumper to bumper weekend, yes, you know, in terms of the activities for the Tobago Carnival, October Carnival 2022. So some of the activities would have included the Bmobile concert, Mud is Life, parade of the bands. We saw Rocks Glow. But at the end of the day, like I said, you know, we turned out, we ended things on a very high note. We saw as well 3 days of power outages throughout Tobago. I understand that it may have been island-wide in some 1 or 2 cases, but TN Tech is going to give us some more information on that, we hope. All right. So we saw some of those things taking place. We saw the adverse weather conditions, which started maybe around Thursday or so, Wednesday, Thursday, but it certainly did not stop things. We saw some rainfall again this morning. So persons out there on the roads, you know, be careful. There are some minor mudslides on the way from east into West Tobago, some flooding still on the road. So we urge persons to please be careful. You got to get to work for 8 o'clock. You've got to leave early. All right. And as far as we know, yes, there is school today. Yes, there is school today for teachers and students. We understand that some of the THA, the Tobago House of Assembly offices, will be closed today. However, you know, there is work today, there is school today, so get those children out, get them over to school. There was no school on Friday, so of course they would have missed at least a day or so because of the weather conditions, but certainly things did not turn out the way we had expected. All right, so just to let you know what's coming up on the program this morning, we've got Sean Roberts, who is the Managing Director of Recycling, Waste and Logistics Limited. He's going to chat with us on their role before and after Carnival. We've also got on set with us this morning Karen Stewart Duncan, who is the Acting Assistant Superintendent of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, and she's going to be on the program to chat with us on Carnival TTPS updates, or Carnival updates, and law enforcement, the public's role. All right, and then viewers, we will be ending things this morning with Dr. Lord Nelson, veteran Calypsonian, who was honored a doctorate over the weekend. We're going to be chatting with Dr. Lord Nelson this morning on the program to close us off. Maybe we'll get a thing or two, get a song or two, you never know. All right, so that's coming up this morning. So viewers, lots of great and exciting things happening here. When we come back, we'll share what's happening on the live, let you know who's up, who's not up, who's awake, who's not awake just yet. And we want to get your thoughts even on the live of what you thought of this year's, the first ever Tobago October Carnival. How would you rate it? We'd like to get your thoughts when we come back. So share the live, share the live, share the live.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your life can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. If sickness catch you off guard. I tell them never ever worry. If times fall on you real hard. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Mamai Lakai Home Services. We specialize in cleaning of carpets and rugs, mattresses, living room and dining room sets, vehicle detailing, cleaning and sanitizing of homes and commercial spaces. We also do landscaping and tree cutting, pressure and power washing, floor care, fumigating and air purifying. You can also call us for professional painting services, babysitting and adult sitting. Call us now 333-4430 at Mamai Lakai Home Services. We take cleaning to another level.
Oh God, oh gosh, all you catch me? Well, we know it's the Tobago Carnival weekend. So right now, I winding down low to low discounts at American stores. Remember, anything can be yours at American stores.
Anything can be yours at American stores.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning again, viewers, and welcome back this morning to the Tobago Updates morning show. Just checking in on the live here, so we want to say good morning to some of you, some of those persons who are on with us on the live. Pearl Murray Beard, we've got to put in that Murray, okay? Pearl Murray Beard, good morning to you. Alicia Devines, good morning to you. Marilyn Spence, Joe Field, I am listening. Scarborough was nice, according to Marilyn Spence. She says, congratulations, Secretary for Tourism, the Assistant Secretary, and all the committees. Well done. These are her comments here for Carnival. Christine Ruby, good morning from the UK. Good morning to you, Christine, all the way out there in the UK. Auntie Dora Lyons, good morning. We've got Michael Williams, good morning. Gloria Alec, good morning. Tobago Updates family, good morning to all of you on the live. Christine Ruby, yes. Caricia Wheeler, blessed, good morning. And this is some drone footage here of of Carnival. This would be what, Parade of the Bands, I believe. Yes, Parade of the Bands. This is Lower Scarborough, Tobago. All right, so you got some footage there. CC Bax, we've got you. Good morning to you, CC. All right, so this is just some footage of what took place over the weekend. Lots of persons, and we really want to hear from some of the folks who came in from abroad to experience this year's October Carnival, the first ever. And I see already that flyers are out with the dates for October Carnival 2023. All right, but we will check in a little bit later on. But chatting with us this morning, we've got Sean Roberts, viewers. Sean Roberts is the Managing Director of the Recycling Waste and Logistics Limited. And this morning, Sean is on the program to chat with us on the role, his company's role before and after Carnival. Sean, good morning to you.
Good morning, Rhea. Good morning to people at Tobago, rest of the world, those who are on the platform, and share the life.
All right.
Yes.
Now, good to have you on the program with us this morning. Now, I mean, I was not involved in the revelry of Carnival, but I was in a separate entity. But are you as tired as some of us feel here this morning after everything?
Well, it is something that I am pretty used to because I used to do a lot of management work with the National Carnival Commission.
Okay.
And we used to do a lot of work with the Tobago Unified Calypsonians organization. So during the carnival season, you can't really like your bed too much.
For sure.
Now that I'm in a different position now where I'm responsible for the waste and recycling for Tobago, because recycling, waste and logistics is part of a public-private partnership project called the Tobago Recycling Resource Initiative, TRRI, that involved the Tobago House of Assembly, the Environmental Management Authority, and the Green Fund, the IK. So what we've been doing before the carnival, we have drop-off bins and stuff, about 39 bins throughout Tobago. We do some curbside pickup from Charlottesville, Roxburgh, Delaford, and Roxburgh, Delaford, Charlottesville, and Speyside.
Right.
So it's not only that we take the recycling program to the communities, we also took it to the events, where you're greening the events, right? So one of the things that we have been doing is more working with the promoters and the hosts of events to have waste and recycling bins present at as much events as possible, because the majority of the waste generated at those events are recyclables. And
because if I'm not mistaken, a lot of these events no longer allow glass.
Yes, some of it, and that was something that we've been advocating as well for the safety of patrons.
Right.
But even though it's present, we have our responsibility to capture it for recycle, because it's being recycled right here in Trinidad and Tobago. So one of the things that we recognize that what reflects the host for events is the cleanliness during your event and after your event. And I must say, give kudos to the different event hosts like Tobago Festival Commission and stuff, where they actually had bins present at the Blue Food Fest.
Okay.
Tomac throughout the 4 days, right up to the Burner Boy, where they had bins present throughout the venue. And actually the cleanup at Tomac was done by the Plymouth Bethesda Village Council, where people from the community was actually involved in the cleanup. If you go to Plymouth after that event, you will wonder what happened.
If anything happened at all.
Yeah. Even after the carnival, Juve, down in Crown Point, I was really happy to see where the litter eradication program, under the Division of Health, actually did a lot of cleanups after, because since the establishment of TRI, we have adopted them as partners, where they separate all the recyclables and bring it to the facility at Shaw Park. Even last night, by the time Carnival was shut down, like around 6-ish, those guys were on the road actually cleaning up and stuff. So really and truly, we're using the events where you have the visitors and the locals from Trinidad and outside of us, where we show that, okay, we have to take responsibility for waste management. And the role of the private sector is also to not just only manage the waste, but to process it into reusable materials and also drive economic activities, because you'll be amazed to know how much economic activities took place from that, where the cleanup crews, different people who into the cleanup activities, benefit transportation, you name it. So that is something that you know, we were happy to be a part of.
Right.
And then going forward, you know, at least that will help influence a more cultural change and to show a working system which will drive proper legislation and stuff for recycling.
All right, and I'm really glad to hear you talk about that. Now, I came from Upper Scarborough to Lower Scarborough this morning to get here, and I was pretty surprised at how clean Scarborough looked already. And of course, if you were not in and around Scarborough over the weekend, you'd wonder, did anything even happen in this area? So we're really happy to see that. Let's talk a little bit about what happens with the waste. What happens with the waste when collected?
For sure. At the TRI Recycling Center in Shaw Park, that's on Tatco Compound, B5. You know, when you get a chance, you could always come and have a look at the action taking place there. Right now, what we do is that the plastics, we sort, separate. We actually process them into bales. Some of the plastic material, we process them into flakes, where those are being containerized and exported. So when it leaves Tobago, it goes through Trinidad and then goes to different parts of South America, Europe, Asia, right? With the glass bottles, we send that to Cariblas in Trinidad because they are the only processors for glass bottles in the Caribbean.
For now, let's say for now, but because I believe, I believe that's where we're heading here in Tobago.
In fact, the intention of us at RWL coming to Tobago is to not just be producing raw material to be sending to other countries. We recognize that we can reuse our waste to make our own raw material where we can be able to produce new plastics, new cardboard, new paper, shopping bags, you name it. Because even the clothes that we wear, we actually have a partnership with a processor overseas that actually make the fibers. So we're looking at, if it is that from 2023, hopefully for next carnival, if we can start having community centers turn to mass camps, we can start producing our costumes, where our costumes can also be produced right here in Tobago. Okay, let me ask you now. We saw there was some footage a little while ago. I looked at the ground. I looked at the road. Yes.
How was the waste collected? How was the waste collected there? How was the waste collected and sorted? Give us an idea of what happens. So you see all of the bottles, plastic bottles on the ground, Cyrotex cups, perhaps debris from confetti.
Yes.
What happens from here?
Well, the ones that we actually target, you see, like the plastic bottles, the glass bottles, the Tetra Pak, even the aluminum and steel cans, we also target those, right? You see, like the confetti and stuff, we don't have the processing systems to consume that as yet, but that is one of the systems that actually the next phase of our operations is to be able to have the necessary plant and machinery to process just about every waste generated in Tobago, because by 2030 we want to be zero waste to landfill as part of our sustainable development goal.
And how is the waste categorized?
Well,
plastics,
metal cans, the Tetra Pak, also they call it used beverage cartons, glass bottles, in fact, cardboard, paper. Well, paper have different categories, have different types.
So cardboard and paper go separately?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
You can group it as well.
Okay.
But like all the plastic bottles, the cans, the glass bottles and stuff, Tetra Pak, you can group those together. Those are the solid waste recyclables. The organic waste recyclables are the paper and cardboard. Those can be good, like newspaper, cereal boxes and stuff. Those stuff we actually process right here. So.
And Sean, what would be the role of the patrons? What would be the role and responsibility of the citizens of Tobago and even those visiting? Because from time to time, you know, we're walking around, we're driving around, we see persons in their vehicles and they throw things out. Do we blow a horn? Because sometimes I'm tempted to blow a horn and say, hey, what you doing? You know, but what is our role and responsibility?
Well, in fact, our role and responsibility as citizens of Trinidad and Tobago is to lead by example. In fact, from your home. If you see a recycle bin, you group it up, bag it, take it to the nearest bin. Because we have drop-off bins available. The curbside, the next step is to expand the existing villages that we currently servicing, and then to gradually add more, where you have a special day for recycling. You know, we're working with the THA to be able to switch one of the garbage collection day to recycling collection day.
Right.
So that is something that we've been working on, and we continue to push that button until that becomes part of our waste management activity. Because people have to realize that a change in your waste habits, waste management habits, can help with a change in your mindset. You know, because you're no longer looking at stuff as waste, but you're looking at it as a resource. Right. And one of the things that is going to be important is that when you get a system working while it is voluntary, that can be able to influence proper legislation to make it become law, where we have to separate our recyclables from our garbage. So, and one of the key things that is going to help is that even stakeholders, especially from the public sector, even with the private sector, is that we are going to stop operating in silos, and we have to learn to collaborate with each other. Everybody have their role to play, because we actually work a lot with the communities and engage them. Like, for example, like Castara, Plymouth, those places, we do a lot of work with them. So when you see you have communities now playing an active role in and taking responsibility for waste management, you'll be amazed to know that tends to drive, influence, change throughout the rest of the Tobago space.
And I'm really hoping here that the change can come before it pushes legislature to make it law, and that persons can see the need to change the way that we operate. You know, in the US, I stayed at an apartment in Queens, and they have the recyclable bins, and the persons, I mean, they sort their garbage before they bring it down. So it's a bag of cans, a bag of plastics, a bag of paper, and they sort everything before they bring it down. Now, is that what you're hoping to see? Because at this point, we still just lump all the garbage together and we put it out, and then the garbage, right, and that's it. But is this where we're heading? Is this where you want to see us heading from now?
Yes, in fact, what our method of approach in how we roll it out here through TRI is that if we try to get people to do too much sorting, that confuses. Because you see, like in the UK, if you look at I've seen how it works in the UK, being there for some years ago, and living in different cities throughout the East Coast for the US and Canada, I get to realize that because of the enabling environment, they provide the necessary bins for you to, and they have the enforcement. It's either you separate or you get the ticket. So what we're doing is like, okay, let's focus on starting with all the recyclables. We separate those. When we get it, we go do the sorting. And when it becomes part of our culture, then you can start rolling in where you can put cans, plastics, paper, cardboard, and stuff. So it's a work in progress, and it's something that won't happen overnight. But I must say that Tobago is catching on, and even people who coming from Trinidad and stuff, because we are also involved with the eye care program that is led by the EMA. Because before we came to Tobago, we've been processing the materials from the 760 something bins that they have across Trinidad.
Right.
So when they come to Tobago, they know about TRI. So they are accustomed separating and putting it in the bins. So now that is why we took it to the events, and we're working with the carnival bands to be able to make it as part of our, for them to now show that yes, we have the bins present at the events, and also we want to make sure that promoters also as well start making waste management become part of their planning. Because I realize that is something that is a gap that we're working on as well.
All right, Sean, very quickly, how can persons or viewers watching contact you?
All right, you can call the TRI Recycling Center at 242-5441. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at TRRI Recycling Center. and that is where you will get the updates where you can interact with us. And we look forward to, well, you will see more flyers, the same TRA flyers that have been circulating via the support of TT Post in regards to what is being accepted. So we have a lot more activities that will be coming out throughout the year, like the pop-up series and stuff. And we'll keep you guys informed.
All right, certainly looking forward to that. Yeah. And a couple of our viewers on the live are saying, yes, that's what we need in Tobago. Thank you so much, Marjorie George. And Charlene Bain says, this is good news. Hopefully everyone can get on board. And that certainly is the direction that we're heading in. All right, so Sean, thank you again for being on the program with us this morning.
Thanks again.
All right, well, viewers, lots more coming up on the program. When we come back this morning, we will be chatting with the Acting Assistant Superintendent of Police here in Tobago, Karen Stewart Duncan, about the TTPS's carnival update and law enforcement, the public's role. Share the live, share the live, share the live.
Hello?
Masefi.
Masefi here.
How you going? It's Alan the Entertainer.
Who?
It's Alan the Entertainer.
Who?
Alan of Million Laughs.
So Alan, you want to get a strainer?
No, ma. I'm calling to tell you about the comedy commerce. Yeah, the comedy commerce show in Tobago.
I know that. I told you I want to come. In Trinidad. How are you going to get that? That is quite in Tobago.
Getting what?
The strainer, Alan.
Back to Tobago November the 5th. So don't worry to come now,
it's not a problem, you know. I will
hear me?
for you.
Don't come now. Ma.
Taxi.
Masefi.
You going shop at Tobago?
Saturday, November 5th, Shore Park, Tobago. It's Million Laughs Caribbean Comedy Commerce, the mega laugh festival to end the Tobago Carnival season, featuring Tobago's finest in folklore and musical entertainment, together with some of the Caribbean's top comedians, Larry Joseph, Daryl the Saint Mendoza, Dolores, Alan the Entertainer, Handsome Sun, Mako Media, and more. Get your ticket specials available on Island E-Tickets and various outlets nationwide, or visit the Million Laughs handles for more info. It's Comedy Commerce in Tobago, a wee kind of commerce.
Rest Assured helped me to cope with the unexpected, provides financial help for final expenses. Rest Assured, the affordable financial comfort plan. Tattoo Life, guaranteed protection.
It's a different type of thing down there, and we party till we drop down there, with a lot of pretty girls down there, down in Tobago.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show. And you know, just before we get into our next interview, there's a special birthday that we missed a little bit earlier on, but we've got it now. So celebrating her birthday today is our good friend Dwayne Dyer, brother of Drew Dyer, who is attached to us here at Tobago Updates. So Dwayne, happy birthday going on to you from your family, your brother especially, in fact your brothers, because you guys are known as the Dyer boys. That's right, throughout Tobago. And love going on to you here from us here at Tobago Updates. So have a great one there, Dwayne Dyer. Viewers, we are chatting this morning with the Acting Assistant Superintendent of Police, Karen Stewart Duncan, on our program this morning as we focus on the TTPS's Carnival update and law enforcement, the public's role. She'll give us an idea this morning of what we need to do to safeguard us, to assist in safeguarding ourselves. Yes, it's a combination of efforts. Good morning and welcome to, I have to say ASP, is it ASP? Acting ASP. Acting ASP Karen Stewart Duncan. It's good to have you on the program with us this morning.
It's a pleasure to be here. Good morning.
And forgive me if I'm smiling a lot, viewers. This is also my school friend, my schoolmate, and my good friend. All right. So like I said, it's an honor for me to have you on the program to chat with you. Let's start this morning. Give us an update if you can. I mean, it's just over the weekend. This is Monday, but some say maybe Ash Monday. You never know. But what did Cool Down Monday?
Yes.
We go with that. But in terms of what the Carnival weekend, Tobago's Carnival weekend look like in terms of crime, accidents, emergencies, what can you say this morning about how the weekend turned out?
What I can tell you is that we had an incident-free carnival. There were no major incidents, and we are really grateful for that. We had police officers out in their numbers. I think the only day that we had 2 issues of fighting would have been on Saturday morning at the Juve. But outside of that, Roxborough was incident-free. Yesterday was totally incident-free, nothing to report. We had a well-behaved crowd. People were just there to enjoy themselves, and we were really appreciative of that. It made our job a whole lot easier.
I am really happy to hear that. I think at the end of the day, we can all breathe a sigh of relief.
Yes.
Because too often we find events such as these, at the end of it, there is something negative to report. So I'm really happy to hear that. In terms of what happened, let's give us an idea of what did law enforcement do to protect and serve over the weekend?
Okay, so as you may be aware, we, the Tobago Division, did not have sufficient strength to be able to manage this carnival. So we sought assistance from our internal stakeholders, such as the Garden Emergency Branch, the Interagency Task Force, Mounted Branch. I'm sure you saw the horses out yesterday. Yes, and other units, and we had in excess of about 140 officers coming up to augment our strength, and I think that was the first thing that helps us. We had that additional strength, and we were able to deploy people appropriately along the various routes and so on, both as static patrols and foot patrols. Yes, so that would be the Garden Emergency Branch there, going through the crowd, their public order team. Yes.
Yeah, and we see here as well the Defense Force, members of the Defense Force.
I must say thanks to the Defense Force for coming on board and assisting us. Lieutenant Wheeler, he was the one who, sat with us as we worked out our plans and so on. So we got the assistance from them in that regard.
And I wonder here, I mean, the presence of law enforcement, do you think it made a difference in allowing patrons to feel safe as well? Because it's one thing to have them there just in case something happens, but do you think they also add to one feeling safe within the crowd?
I would say yes, and I would say that based on what members of the public actually told me, because as I walked down Scarborough yesterday, members of the public would come up to me and they said, they felt so safe seeing so many police officers outside, and it allowed for them to enjoy themselves better.
All right, and I'm really happy to hear that. All right, so let's talk a little bit now about the law enforcement and the public's role. I mean, yes, persons are out there enjoying themselves, but I mean, sometimes we throw caution to the wind. But there's an officer there, so I don't need to secure my handbag. Or there's an officer there, I don't need to. I can check my money in public. Some of the little things that we tend to ignore. And I want to believe that the mindset of the Tobagonian is not the mindset of the Tobagonian in Tobago.
Yes.
Is not the mindset of the Tobagonian in Trinidad.
Yes.
So tell us about our role and responsibility.
And I want to agree with you there in terms of the mindset of the Tobagonian in Tobago. Well, like as you know, that I am a Tobagonian who worked my entire service in Trinidad. So
Right.
I am now here for the first time, you know, now operating as a police officer. And it's interesting to hear people say that can't happen in Tobago. But the dynamics of crime are changing. And that is something we need to be cognizant of. I was at a supermarket one day and I heard a mother was cautioning her daughter about, you know, don't go too far in case somebody kidnap you. And the grandmother said, that can't happen in Tobago. And I'm saying, no, we have an influx of, you know,
strangers,
right,
foreigners.
and you can never tell because human trafficking is a real thing.
And it is happening here. But in fact, let me not make the statement. Is it happening here in Tobago?
Well, I cannot say definitely in terms of statistics to tell you that. That is something I can look into and give you feedback on at another time. But the reality is the dynamics of crime are changing not only in Tobago but worldwide.
Yes.
Yes, especially,
but it's happening in Trinidad.
Especially as technology advances. They are more sophisticated crimes. So we need to be cognizant of that and not just throw caution to the wind.
It's not going to happen. That doesn't happen in Tobago.
Yes, that doesn't happen in Tobago. That's a fallacy.
Unfortunately. All right, unfortunately. All right, so you spoke about that, but in terms of the mindset, let's go back to the conversation of the mindset of the Tobagonian, us being aware of our surroundings, because now everybody has a cell phone. Everyone, we're preoccupied, we're not cognizant of where we are, who is around us, who's standing next to us, who's looking at us. And like again, we throw caution to the wind and we just operate because this is Tobago.
Yes.
So talk to us about, you know, where we need to be.
Right. So I'm saying as much as you'd like to be free and relaxed as the Tobago space allows for that, you need to still be conscious of where you are, who you are with, right? Your surroundings, what you have on you, how you operate with your possessions and so on. So you don't, like you say, go counting cash in the public. You don't go, a simple thing, you know, a lot of persons are into exercising, a lot of women are out there early in the morning, walking the routes and so on, but yet they having earpieces.
Yes.
And that makes you, you know, that of itself makes you vulnerable because then you are not conscious of what is happening around you.
Right.
Yes. So we need to be aware. We need to, as much as we're saying, yes, have your fun, enjoy yourself, but make sure that your personal safety is first and foremost your responsibility. And thereafter, we as the police officer, we come in to protect and serve with pride. So
that's right, with pride.
So that the personal safety is first and foremost your responsibility. So do what you need to do to safeguard yourself, safeguard your children, safeguard your homes. Because I know some people, they go and they leave their houses, you know, open, unlocked, as the case may be, and then we've noticed, you know, instances of house breakings and all these sort of things. So we need to make sure that we do our part, you know, to secure ourselves.
All right. And over the weekend, I know we were cautioned last week to ensure that if we were going to leave the elderly and the small children at home, that to ensure that there was someone at home to oversee, overlook. Give our viewers this morning an idea of what the law says as it pertains to the responsibility of parents leaving their children under the age of 18. Because there's some who say, well, she's 16, she's big enough, she's 17, she's old enough. But according to the law...
Right, so the Children's Act dissuades parents from doing that. And parents need to understand, I know sometimes it's challenging, especially when you're a single parent and you think that this child is big enough, responsible enough. You still need to do your part to make sure that you put systems in place to safeguard your children. Because at the end of the day, we don't want to put them at risk. Yeah, and when things happen to children, it's always traumatic, not only for the parents, but the entire community.
Yes.
Because, for example, when you saw like the fire that took place in Trinidad, something like that is very traumatic. So, and another thing is that when children have these kind of experiences, these traumatic experiences, if we don't put the systems in place to ensure that they receive the required counseling, then that of itself hinders them from moving forward in life. Yeah. So the law stipulates that parents are to ensure that their children are not left unattended. That's under the Children's Act, and therefore we need to make sure that that is followed at all times. Find maybe a neighbor or somebody trustworthy that you can leave them. I know sometimes some neighbors aren't as trustworthy as we'd like to think.
I like how you said it's a neighbor and then you put in trustworthy, but it doesn't always work.
It doesn't always work, especially, like I said, the dynamics of crime are changing. So we still need to be cautious in the way we we treat with our children and our elderly. Yes?
Most definitely.
Yes, because sometimes we think that they're old, you know, we can go out and party, but if they're immobile, what happens if something, if issue props up there? What is their situation? What system did you put in place to take care of your parent, your grandparent, as the case may be? Remember, they took care of us whilst we were, and it's now our responsibility to make sure that we take care of our elderly population.
That's right. The rules have been reversed.
Exactly.
But we also have a responsibility.
Yes, we do.
All right, I want to talk a little bit here about even business owners, because we see, you know, over the weekend there were, businesses might have been shut down because of the carnival, maybe particularly in the Scarborough area. But what is the responsibility of those business owners who have businesses in and around Scarborough? Do you just throw caution to the wind?
No. One of the things I found was very interesting when I came back is that I understand that some persons don't readily access security assistance in you know, getting their cash to the bank and whatever. And I'm saying that that mindset of itself needs to change in terms of where they keep their money, who keeps money at home, whatever. We need to change that mindset.
The days of rolling the cash in a brown paper bag
exactly,
and taking it to the bank.
Yes, and leaving it maybe under the bed or where in the mattress. That's how they used to do it.
Yes.
Yeah. So those days have since, you know, if we look at the kind of robberies we had a few months ago, we had some robberies and so on. So we need to, again, make sure that we put our systems in place, secure our businesses, install cameras if necessary. When, you know, as far as practicable, install cameras around your business places. At least we'll have footage if needs be. So should anything happen, we'll be able to work with that. Yes? Working cameras, though.
Putting the cameras, though, yes.
Working cameras.
Working. And not just the decoy cameras.
Right.
Because some persons put the decoy cameras and then something happens and
there's nothing, you know. So again, you secure your businesses properly. Make sure that you stagger your times that you go to the bank. You don't. One of the things as humans is that we are creatures of habits.
Yes.
Yeah. So we go to the bank 9 o'clock every day to deposit our cash. Of course, that habit would be picked up by a criminal. He would notice how you operate, notice where you store your money, all these sort of things. So he just like you would study for an exam. They study you. So therefore, you don't make yourself an easy target. You make sure that you stagger the times that you go to the bank. You know, so they could never pin you down to say, well, today at 9 o'clock he's going to go to the bank. That sort of thing.
And I think it's very important for us to be aware, change our mindset, change the way that we operate in Tobago, because Tobago has changed.
Yes, it has.
Whether we want to accept it or believe it, it has changed.
Yes, it has.
All right, so in case of emergency, give us the contact numbers for the public. Who should we call if there is an emergency, and does it matter what type of emergency it is that we call a specific number? What do we do?
Oh, you can always call 999. 800 tips. Those are the numbers that you can call. Now, it doesn't matter the nature of the emergency. The dispatcher would work it out accordingly and send it to the appropriate station. Yes?
Okay. And 211. Yes. I still believe in 211. I still believe in 211. All right, so thank you so much for being on the program with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
All right, viewers, lots more coming up on the Tobago Updates morning show. It is Monday, the 31st of October. So October, we can safely say October is officially ended as we head on into November, and about a month and a half, almost 2 months away from Christmas, believe it or not. So lots more coming up on the program this morning. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Welcome to the March Parfait Day Spa and Wellness Center, your premier spa experience located at Bonaccord, Tobago. Visit us today for facials, cellulite treatments, body contours, body treatments, pedicures, manicures, and much more. We have gift cards for all occasions and corporate events. Connect with us on Facebook at Le March Parfait Day Spa or call us 273-7772.
Lifespan is the affordable critical illness plan you need. Cover expenses up to $1 million. Tattoo Life. Guaranteed protection.
Tobago, this is Larry Joseph. Saturday, 5th November, the only place to be is Million Laughs Caribbean Comedy Commerce. Shore Park, Tobago. The only comedy for the entire family. Tobago, Commerce and Larry, a we kind of commerce.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Advertise with Tobago Updates. Call 284-6597. If you have a small or large business, we can get your information in front of the masses. Reach our rapidly growing viewership on Facebook and YouTube. Promote your brand in Trinidad and the Caribbean through M&E TV Now and Gayel. Yes, we can build unique ads for your business. Call now 284-6597 and advertise with us.
Oh God, oh gosh, all you catch me? Well, we know it's the Tobago Carnival weekend. So right now, I winding down low to low discounts at American stores. Remember, anything can be yours at American stores.
Anything can be yours at American stores.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back, viewers. It is the Tobago Updates morning show. And just to let you know, just a reminder here of the Mount Pleasant Credit Union's notice of special general meeting. The notice is hereby given that the special general meeting of the Mount Pleasant Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited will be held on Tuesday, the 1st November 2022, which is tomorrow, at the Tobago Nutrition Cooperative Society in Bonaccord, Tobago, commencing at 4:30 p.m. to consider and approve amendments to credit union bylaws. The bylaws can be accessed via the link on the MPCU Facebook page and the MPCU's website. Members are asked to register on or before Wednesday 26th. That deadline was last week, and so this is by order of the board of directors. All right, and that's as it relates to the special general meeting for the Mount Pleasant Credit Union. Well, you know, viewers, that is just about it for us here. Just to tell you what's happening on the live very quickly. Folks on the live folks on the live are saying good morning. Good morning again to you, Carol. Carol Fraser Davidson, I think we're now connecting with you. L. Patricia and McDougall, good morning to you. Tash Guthrie, good morning to you. Joy Samuel, Alicia Samuel, good morning, good morning. Well, Eagle Sharon Forrester George, we're going to be seeing some familiar faces, some faces that go with the name later on in the program this morning. So, you know, we're getting ready to wrap things up, but we really want to thank all of you who were able to view the program this morning. Sharina Hamid, good morning to you, Sharina Hamid. All right, and wherever you are viewing us from, certainly we are happy that you're able to join us this morning. Of course, maybe by tomorrow, so later on in the week, we'd like to get your thoughts on Tobago Carnival. What are your thoughts? How would you rate the 2022 October Tobago Carnival? Well, we're getting ready to wrap things up, as I mentioned, and we want to thank you again for being with us on the program this morning, and we trust that you have a great day. Stay safe on the roads. We've got GMT coming up with Candace and a host of interesting guests, some of them who've got to leave their cell phones on the chair. All right, and not bring it on set. And I guess just by saying that, you might have an idea of some of who we're talking about. All right, but have a great day, Tobago, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
I heard about the TADCO initiative, I decided to take a chance and get into it. Well, I feel real privileged because I can tell you, if you're doing broilers, there's a lot of money up front you have to put out, right? To get the chickens and then the feed. Because the feed is almost $300 a bag, right? So I feel very privileged to be part of this initiative. It will benefit in the sense that you have a ready market for the chickens you produce. You don't have to go out there searching for a market. It's a ready market, you know. When you do it, they are receiving it from you.
What we've decided to do is engage poultry contract farming on the island, similar to what is done in Trinidad. So TADCO has reached out to suppliers, major suppliers on the island of Trinidad, who are willing to support the growth and development of the poultry sector on the island. We're going to bring an international standard, which is what is practiced in Trinidad, to this sector here on the island. It would require us expending some funds, yes, but it would also develop entrepreneurship and allow for food security, as I indicated earlier, on the island in respect to the protein source for chicken, and more importantly, how we will be able to sustain ourselves going forward. We're going to structure it in a way that their profitability will be resulted in terms of their project expansion. So if you start off with us, yesterday we started off with 100 birds for the farmers who we've given it, but if you start off and you can do 1,000 birds, and next year or the next 18 months you can then expand your project to obtain another 1,000 birds, there's some development in the sector in our minds. TADCO itself has already embarked on a on a program for learning on how to do pen management, how to ensure the success for the farmers as it relates to when we give them these birds and these feed, they will be provided with all the necessary information to ensure their success.
250,000 chickens per month. Yeah, so so you see how much money you're making there, and you have a guaranteed market, Tadco buying back the chickens from you. And we're trying to encourage local chicken, not the foreign chicken, right? We know all the chemicals and all these things, how it impacts women like me, right? So we're trying to encourage the local chicken. So we want to thank you for participating in this initiative.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candace and Denicia.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and heal my neighbor. 60,000 people strong.
Welcome to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad, and the region, with the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine. I am Candace Jackson, and let's get started with the news in 90 seconds. Patrons and organizers alike hailed the inaugural Tobago Carnival a success this weekend. Even though heavy rainfall threatened to dampen the revelry, patrons were not deterred. Juve celebrations on Saturday saw thousands of revelers converging in Bon Accord and Crown Point. The crowd was so large that only a few bands crossed the stage before the police cut off the celebrations at 9:30 a.m. They then moved to the Mud is Life camp at the back of the airport for more revelry. Later that evening, the activities moved into Roxborough for Roxglow Night Mass. While the rains held up all day for the Juve and Mud Mass celebrations, it came pouring down in Roxborough, but it did not stop the mass. Revelers paraded through the rain, and artists like Nadia Batson, Fayan Lyons, and Bungie Garland performed for a rain-soaked audience. The rains continued into Sunday, and the rains continued into Sunday morning, threatening the start of the parade of bands, originally scheduled for 10 a.m. However, the rains eased up by mid-morning, and the bands paraded all day under an overcast sky. At the end of the celebrations, stakeholders and organizers agreed that while it was not a perfect execution, the Tobago Carnival has the potential to grow and become a premier event on the Carnival calendar of events. Not wasting any time, the dates for next year's Tobago Carnival were released, and it is the 27th to the 29th of October 2023. And now nationally, with murders crossing the 500 mark this weekend, Commissioner of Police McDonald Jacobs said a significant factor was the use of high-powered assault rifles. According to Jacob, they are contributing to a rise in double and triple homicides. He promised that the police is doing all they can to crack down on illegal weapons. The police have charged 1,211 people so far this year for gun-related offenses and have seized over 580 guns. Of those, 102 were submachine guns, AR-15s, and AK-47 weapons used by the soldiers in war. And that was in use in 90 seconds. And of course, we had a bumper weekend. Oh my goodness, it was a very jam-packed weekend. Now, I have to say, of course, you can tell by now I'm a little bit under the weather. So I was only able to be around for the Juve celebrations, and then my body had other plans. But I mean, I just want to say a shout out to Zane Carnival Band. I know I was supposed to be out with you guys, representing you guys and bringing you some of that coverage out yesterday. But unfortunately, I really could not make it. You know, I'm still not 100%. But I'm here, viewers, to bring you that updates. And of course, we have to give a big shout out to the team, the Tobago Updates team. Now, we were out and bad this weekend, and I have to say, I love my Tobago Updates team, the coverage that we brought to you. We are so pleased. I mean, and we're only going to get bigger and better. I mean, of course, we had the drone shots that just brought the special elements. We had the Terra One, as we have named it here in our space. So we're just going to continue to bring you the best coverage possible here in Tobago. You know, it's a lot of hard work that goes into these productions. The team right now, we're all feeling it this morning, you know, but we're so proud of what we've been able to do. And we thank you, viewers. We've seen your support over the weekend, and we just want to thank you so much for that support that you gave us and that love. Yes, we're going to keep pushing through no matter what. And yes, see, I mean, we've got the Terra One shots there, those drone shots of the fireworks. I mean, we had the best shots of everybody there. So, all right, viewers, now getting into our discussions this morning, I have first up on the lineup with me, Mr. Darrell Duke, and he is the Assistant General Manager of Business Sales down at TSCT. So, a special good morning and welcome to you, sir. How are you doing? Hopefully, you're better than I am.
Good morning, Candice, and good morning, Tobago. And Candice, I wish you a speedy recovery. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so we're talking about, you know, the development and digital transformation, especially here in Tobago, that TSCT is bringing to us. So can you give us an idea about some of that new technology that you, or the digital transformation that you guys are planning to unveil here for us in Tobago?
Candice, and that's a wonderful question. In June, the Chief Secretary, on behalf of Tobago, made his intent clear that to improve public sector efficiency, he had to accelerate the digital transformation process, where he wanted to marry speed and efficiency. So we at TSCT are very elated to partner with the THA and the private sector of Tobago in its digital transformation journey. So Candice, what do we mean by digital transformation? And it is a process to make business a lot easier, to make it a lot more efficient, to remove the pain points from business. And I can give you some examples. We would love to, and we continue to have discussions and partner with the THA on the e-tender platform. And this is a platform which makes procurement a lot more transparent, a lot easier in terms for the administrators and for those who are reporting to procurement, who are applying for tenders, whatnot. And then more importantly, which we are very proud of, we have launched a new e-commerce platform called Parlor, where a lot of the artisans from Tobago can now put their stuff onto this e-commerce platform, and then their audience is no longer just Tobago or Trinidad, it is now the world. So it is really to make your business more efficient. And what we are very proud of is that we in TSCT can host these applications in our world-class data center, or even partner with Tobago to develop our own data center within Tobago. So we have the expertise, we have the will, and we are very proud to partner with Tobago, because remember, in TSCT, it is Telecommunication Services of Trinidad and Tobago. So we're very proud to be the only full-service national telecom provider. So we're in the right spot, and it is certainly a pleasure to work together with Tobago on this initiative.
And now we've heard quite a bit about that Parlor initiative that you mentioned. Yes. It's been off the ground for like just about a month now, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
Can you give me some updates on how that's been progressing so far?
Well, Candice, we are very proud that it's picked up considerably. We have partnered with a lot of suppliers who did not have an audience of the world. And in doing, when I say it's true partnership, because a lot of our experiences and in the engagement, we realize a lot of persons now need to package themselves and promote themselves a lot better to ensure that they're world famous and world popular. So the partnership has now improve the packaging, improve now the photography, improve now the presentation of the artisans' products and services, which now enable greater sales. So it's all about partnership and making a better Trinidad and Tobago. So it has been going extremely well. No complaints at all. And we welcome to improve and to work together with the citizens and public and private sector Tobago to join on to Parlor. We are ready and ready to go.
And as we're speaking about digital transformation, you know, the question is always there into us making Tobago itself properly connected data-wise, because we know there are issues, there are challenges based on the topography of the island that prevents some of the customers from being able to access that data connectivity that they need to push that digital transformation forward? Where are we in terms of getting Tobago fully connected?
Candice, wonderful question again. And we did have some very distinct and intense discussions with the Chief Sec, because he shared those concerns, especially within the northeastern side of Tobago. So we understand the concerns. We at TSTT, based on our fiber connectivity footprint, as well as our wireless 4G network, plan to improve that connectivity. And we are well our way on getting this connectivity, especially in the northeastern side of Tobago, well connected to enable this digital transformation. So we have shared those plans with the TH, and we continue to have discussions, engagement to keep everybody updated with respect to that connectivity. But it's well on its way.
Okay.
And we're very confident to have that in place.
And I know also in 2017, there was that link that was made with TSCT towards building that Tier 3 data storage center at Cove. Now, we haven't heard anything since then. Has there been any progress in terms of building that cloud storage capacity at Cove?
Candice, so we have been, as I said, we have had some discussions with the Chief Sec, and recently we had some discussion with the Chief Admin Officer and a lot of the heads of IT from the different divisions. And we are now in intense discussions. Certainly the intent is to have a data center developed for Tobago, in Tobago, a cloud developed in Tobago, for Tobago, and that discussion is ongoing. So the intent is there. The progress is in. It's some intense discussions which we're not able to share at this point in time, but you'll be very pleased with the results of it, driven by the Chief Sec, the Honorable Chief Sec.
Of course. And you know, also we have the 2-on-1 center here in Tobago.
Yes, ma'am.
That has been, you know, been very good within our space and providing our citizens or residents with the right types of information and so on. How has TSCT partnered with 2-on-1 to help them push their vision forward?
So you're right. In terms of and 2-on-1 is a wonderful call center, which we in Trinidad also try to pattern off it. And it's really about keeping people connected and the communication platform. So it's all about the connectivity in terms of the voice and the data connectivity, that we continue to engage 2-on-1 to ensure that their connectivity is always on, and including redundancy to keep it very resilient, because we have to keep 2-on-1 up. So we continue to partner with respect to the connectivity and data and voice services, state-of-the-art data and voice services for them.
And what new we can see coming in the next few months for Tobago?
So Candice, you're right. So what is driven by the Chief Secretary's intent to drive cloud and digital transformation. So it'll be the cloud applications. It will be the Parler. It will be the e-tender platform developed all by Trinidad and Tobago. It will be the e-health system, where we're working with the Secretary of Health to make the health system and the public engagement of the public sector a lot more efficient. So you will see a lot more applications which are hosted in the cloud to make the public sector and the private sector a lot more efficient. And once stuff becomes more efficient, we have happier citizens and then happier business people also too. So we are all about making life in Tobago, life in Trinidad, life as Trinidad and Tobago a lot more easier and a lot more happy.
And as you mentioned, you know, the health. Can you give us some more details about, you know, what are you guys coming up with? Is it that we're going to have like a card that we can access online, a health card with all our medical records? Is that the plan?
So Candice, it is a preview of common attractions. As I said, we're in intense discussion with the Secretary of Health. But what is the plan? Certainly, it will be at your fingertips. So similar to what we're engaging in right now. Before, I would have to travel across to Tobago to meet your lovely self, which I would have enjoyed.
Of course.
But now I am having this engagement via the cloud, via this app that you all have developed. So similarly, we're trying to make the health engagement. I know health is very important for all citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. We're trying to make it a lot easier using the cloud and applications that will just be at your fingertips, which may include a card, because the card enables that transaction. But this is an intense discussion. It is a partnership. It's not a force fit. We design it specifically for the needs of Tobago. So that is why we continue to work together with the Secretary and the people of Tobago to make sure it works for Tobago.
Now, we see that Bmobile was out on the road for Carnival this weekend. Now, I am wondering, is there a plan? Is there a plan behind that? You know, what is the potential after seeing Carnival play out this weekend in all of its glory? You know, like, how can Bmobile partner with the Carnival so that in 2023, I mean, like, we already had the dates announced, the 27th to the 29th of October in 2023. you know, what can we see? How can we see Bmobile partnering with the Tobago Carnival to make it bigger and better for the next installment?
So Candice, we have been partnering Tobago since Jesus was a little boy. It is, and we are very proud to partner with Tobago on the digital cloud transformation process as well as culture, because it goes hand in hand. It's a perfect marriage. So we have partnered with Tobago, and we're very proud and very happy to hear the carnival went very successful. We partner in Tobago Heritage. We partner in the Blue Food Festival. So we continue to partner on the cultural side of Tobago. And as you said, I made a note, the 27th to the 29th of October 2023 is the next big Tobago Carnival event. So we will be there very much upfront and present, as we always have been, as well as the other events, because Tobago is not just Carnival.
Yes.
So we continue to work with Tobago on the festivals that mean importance to Tobago, including the Easter Goat Race. We have been there. We are very upfront and present with Tobago and continue to be so with their culture and with their business and with their tourism. We are for Tobago. There's no two ways about it. And we'll do what is necessary to support Tobago.
And of course, like I said, as we're seeing here on the screen, there were masqueraders representing the Bmobile brand. Now, is this just like a marketing thing, or was this a band so that people can get involved?
So Candice, good. This is just it's to support Tobago, support the brand, and support the revelry of Tobago. So we continue to engage and work together with the organizers of the Tobago Carnival, and we as we always use a partnership, and we assist where we need to assist where it's necessary. So I mean, of course, we have a little branding opportunity. So you see the Bmobile brand well represented, but more importantly, you're seeing happy faces. You're seeing the citizens of Tobago engaging within the carnival, enjoying the event, and once again, it'll get bigger and better from time to time. So we look forward to October 27 to 29, 2023.
All right, so we certainly look forward to seeing you more. And I mean, I know there are some big things coming.
Yes, ma'am.
Partnerships coming for Tobago, for the private sector from Bmobile, and we are certainly looking forward for that.
Thank you very much. Yes, as I said, we continue to partner, and we proudly partner with public and private sector Tobago, and we look forward to bigger, better things. You're right, Christmas is coming, Carnival is coming, so we have some big things in store. But most importantly, we want to make the lives of citizens of Tobago a lot easier. Yeah, so we don't want to be part of the pain, we want to be part of the pleasure. So we continue to work on that.
I love that. I love that. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Duke, for being on with us. It was a pleasure speaking with you this morning. And viewers, don't go anywhere, because we've had a lot coming up for you after the break. We're going to get into some post-mortem carnival discussions. So stay with us.
Welcome to the March Parfait Day Spa and Wellness Center, your premier spa experience located at Bonaccord, Tobago. Visit us today for facials, cellulite treatments, body contours, body treatments, pedicures, manicures, and much more. We have gift cards for all occasions and corporate events. Connect with us on Facebook at Le March Parfait Day Spa or call us 273-7772.
Remember life before 2020? Remember 2019 and behind, go back. Okay, remember them times? You forgotten, me too. So much of new norms. We walking around like bandits. We have curfews. Shops closing early. You must have sneezed. One long time. In 2019, when they sneeze, what people they say? Yes, you try to pass a sneeze in this room right now.
Saturday, November 5th, Shore Park, Tobago. It's Million Laughs Caribbean Comedy Commerce, the mega laugh festival to end the Tobago Carnival season, featuring Tobago's finest in folklore and musical entertainment, together with some of the Caribbean's top comedians, Larry Joseph, Daryl the Saint Mendoza, Dolores, Alan the Entertainer, Handsome Sun, Mako Media, and more. Get your ticket specials available on Island E-Tickets and various outlets nationwide, or visit the Million Laughs handles for more info. It's Comedy Commerce in Tobago, a wee kind of commerce.
Yeah. Hey.
Tobago updates.
Good morning, Tobago.
Wake up with Candace and Denasia.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Now, viewers, if we said we just finished our carnival weekend, everybody is like tired. Hopefully, you are making your way to work, even though you reveled this weekend, because of course that is incredibly important. But joining us on set to give us an idea of how the carnival went, give us a little breakdown, we have Nkosi Phillips, who is the political leader of the Unity of the People. Good morning and welcome to you. I know I can see it in your face. You had a time this weekend.
Yes, I had a time and I'm still having that time.
Nkosi is still having that time, viewers. All right, Nkosi, first of all, how was the carnival? In your view, I mean, we had so much issues going into the weekend itself, but as you experienced it, how do you feel about it?
Well, first of all, let me say I did not experience it. I only experienced it watching on TV. Friday night, I landed at Crown Point and I took in, the ambience. What I would say, the energy, the vibes, the persona, everything was there. I don't want to say too much because I'm supposed to hold a press conference to give a general post-mortem of the whole carnival or the leading up to the carnival, but what I will say, I'm glad that the masqueraders and persons enjoy themselves. I'm glad that the Trinidadians enjoyed themselves and gave Tobago that upliftment of, the carnival. And I'm glad that everybody was safe. There was no damage, there was no death, there was no violence or anything. So I'm glad that part of it came off. So as I said, I don't want to say too much, but yeah.
No, from looking at the events, especially this weekend and so on, we're going into 2023. We already have the dates lined up there. So it's for us to start to get prepared for it once again. Now, as we getting into that mindset, what would you like to see differently done in preparation for 2023's carnival?
Well, let me see. What we need to do is we need to have that togetherness. We need to stop the silence. We need to focus more on the artists in Tobago. We need to respect the artists and the culture of what Tobago really is and the carnival is. We need to use the resources of what is here. We need to give the resources to the mass band, the calypsonians, or the promoters in Tobago who has events, and we need to actually schedule these events. There were like so many events that keep on being bust because there was too much, 5 and 6 events at the same time, and people wouldn't go in, and some promoters would have lost. So, but I think we need that togetherness. We need that everybody on the round table planning. And I know that the teacher is going to give their postmortem. As the political leader, I'm going to give my postmortem sometime later down in the week or maybe next week because I'm still reveling as you see right now. Togetherness. We need that togetherness right about now. This is just the beginning, and there was a lot of damages or innuendos going through this carnival. But at least it was successful to that extent. But I am not going to be hypocritical to say, yes, it was successful, and then I'm going to bash them. So I'm waiting to give my postmortem. But as I said, I'm glad that we need togetherness. We need that, you see this silence and this underneath thing, and you just see last minute pop-ups and pop-ups. That wouldn't work for 2023.
Okay.
Right?
But I mean, well, hopefully now that we have a whole year, in a sense, to prepare, hopefully that we won't see that many last minute things, because of course this year was so rushed.
Yeah.
So there were so many things that did go wrong with the initial planning that, but it was good to see the turnout of people. Where do you see Carnival 2023 going? How big do you see it can be?
It can be tremendously big. As I said, beside the hiccups that I'm going to be mentioning later down, it can get somewhere. And I can see the vision for it growing bigger. I'm seeing the vision for people coming on the island. I see revenue in the pockets of the vendors, the hoteliers, the guest house personnel and stuff. But I'm not seeing revenue for the Tobago House of Assembly, because they would have put out a lot. And I think it will maybe more than what the $17.5 million they said that they put out. And I'm hoping to see that next year, some of these free shows, we will actually see revenue coming back into the coffers of the Tobago House of Assembly. So as I said, it can go once there's a proper dialogue with all the stakeholders and the sectors that respectfully need to be respected. And we can get somewhere, and this is just the beginning. There will be a lot of negativity. As I said, I'm not a hypocrite. There are some things that I did not like during the carnival and things that I would like to address and I will address soon. And as I said, whoever came to enjoy themselves, they enjoyed themselves. Right? And I'm glad that the Trinidadians were here. I'm glad that we had people from all over the walks of life who came to it.
Yes, contingent was
yes, I met some of them last night in Sunday school.
Yes.
And it was really great. It was really great. And as I said, we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do, and we myself have a lot of work to do because our Candicopa event was in that same bracket.
Yes, I was just about to get there.
Yeah, so yeah, we have a lot of work to do.
All right, but before we get to Candicopa, I want to touch on the artists for Tobago, because I mean, again, there was so much, like I said, so much that went wrong in the leading up to the carnival, but at least we had it. It was in essence a success, and then we can only build from there. Now, how do we go forward in 2023, building the carnival so that the artists, especially the soca artists and the calypso artists, that they have a major play in the carnival event?
Right. Okay. With regards to the artists, well, you see, there was a soca show, there's a calypso show, so that should be already on the schedule of events already. I think the artists themselves need to market themselves. They need to promote themselves as well. There needs to be a cultural diversification of the culture of Tobago's artists, whereby they produce music relevant to the Tobago space, relevant to even going above the Tobago space to enter in the Trinidad competitions and things. I think Carnival is coming, so I think this is the time for them to market from here and pushing themselves going forward into the Trinidad Carnival. See how much jobs they can get in Trinidad, see how much gigs they can get in Trinidad to market themselves. I think there needs to be more financial structure, or need to be more support in the cultural aspect of the artisans in Tobago space. Whatever support they need in the cultural industry. I think they said they mentioned it in the budget, but we're not seeing it. They're suffering from funding to get to do their music videos and stuff. There needs to be some sort of a funding accessible to them, so that whatever they get that funding, it is giving back to the Tobago space, giving back to whatever they is. You can't just give funding and you're not seeing that product. I think the artists themselves need to push themselves. THA would have done that by taking some to Grenada and taking some and pushing some of those artists. But there are younger artists that should have got the push, and they did not. And they shouldn't have be a favoritism. So going forward, I hope there's funding, I hope there's more support to the artists, and I hope that the artists in the Tobago space, they know how to market themselves, get a proper management team, because you can't just sing, you can't sing tra-la-la, 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 expect people to come and listen to you and that nonsense. You have to produce something proper, and not everything is bend down and whine and touch me, and sing something better. Listen, we have talent. We have the talent in the space
And
in
we
the Tobago
saw
space.
it. We saw it at the Soca Monarch.
JK's.
Yes.
JK's. Anomaly. I see triple.
Yep.
I saw it. I listened to some of the soca artists and Corn Dog. I never knew he could sing. I never knew. And when I saw these people, I was like, what? These people singing? And some of these people singing calypso as well, these young men. I was like, we have it. We have the talent, but it's just that the DJs, the radio stations, and them need to push them. The DJs need to push them in the party. Forget about this trippy Jamaican music. No, let me say trippy Jamaican music. Let me rephrase that. The Jamaican music and the outside. Market your own, respect your own first, and then everything is going to happen.
Now, should we have a road march competition based on Tobago soca songs?
I was just about to say that yes, we can have a Tobago road march, and I think that is just an addition to what will be happening in 2023. Once you have this is just the beginning product, and once you add to that, nothing can stop Tobago Carnival once there is proper management and proper execution with a whole dialogue of all the stakeholders, whether opposition, non-opposition, everybody. Listen, Candice, you can't touch Tobago Carnival if that is in place.
I mean, we certainly got that impression from the people that took part in Carnival. They were so excited and they were like, everybody was like, yes, we're coming back, because it could only get bigger and better. And then you saw also for those people that were just viewing from outside, they missed out.
I saw a lot of views and I saw people commenting, and I think some were negative, some were positive. As I said, there are just some hiccups that I don't want to touch as yet, but I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to stay within the element of keeping that positivity for now.
Yes.
As I said, this is the positive side. When I'm ready to give the battle of the political will, I will step into that mode. I don't want to be hypocritical, but it was good. It was good for those who enjoyed it, those who wanted to come, those who didn't want to come and they didn't enjoy that step. But there is so much thing, the traffic system, that was just, oh God, Lord have mercy. How on earth these police officers will give tickets or stop persons to ask them for the ID in a long traffic? All those little things made it a little worse than the access. And I think from next year, it should be moved, this Juve and everything, most of these things should be moved to Scarborough.
Right.
Crown Point is not the place for this.
Certainly so. I mean, and actually, I had a conversation with Senior Benjamin, who said that, he hopes that for next year that they could reconsider some of these routes because of the complications it causes for them in managing the traffic.
Yeah, exactly. With the trucks and the movement of the people, the one in, this is just one road in, whereby Scarborough has different routes and different, and then...
Perhaps, everything should remain in Scarborough.
Yes, exactly.
I mean,
bring back the life to Scarborough. Crown Point had its fair share. It has its touches and its damages and whatever. Now we need to move it back to Scarborough. We need to rejuvenate the life of Scarborough. And that is where it started, and I think the essence should still be there. Crown Point can have something, yes, but not as big as what should have happened here in Scarborough.
It honestly was too big for the infrastructure that was in Scarborough. But okay, so now we're moving on now to Cornucopia, because we have to touch on Cornucopia.
Yes.
How was Cornucopia in your opinion?
Well, my executive and I did a postmortem, but I'm going to get a postmortem with the mass band leaders and the Californians who took part in the event. We're going to have a postmortem later on this week. From the executive standpoint of it, it was successful because I think everybody wanted it, or persons would have wanted it to fail by not coming off. And I said to you, with or without funding, this Cornucopia event is going to happen, and it did happen. So kudos to the Calypsonians who came out, the mass band leaders who came out. You see some of the persons there performing and stuff. It was great. It was phenomenal. Persons who wanted to be there were there. Who enjoyed themselves, I think going forward, based on the postmortem, we need funding, more support from the THA itself, and not just promises that are made and at the end of the day or the day before the promises are neglected. But otherwise it was successful. Going forward, on the 11th of November, We will be having a prize distribution for the persons who would have taken part in the competition. We are also going to rebrand and rename the Cornucopia. It's going to still be Cornucopia, but we're going to rename that part of it, and we are going to relaunch also for 2023 going forward at that prize giving ceremony, which the media will be invited to. All these sponsors who would have come on board after, we are going to also give awards to those sponsors who are picking up the slack that, you know, the THA should have picked up at that point in time. But, you know, thank God for little small mercies, and Cornucopia was good. It was good.
And you're saying that Cornucopia was just one of two competitions basically for soccer and for
Calypso. We had a Calypso competition, and we had the mass competition. We had senior kings, senior queens, senior individuals, junior individuals, junior king, junior queen. We had old mass band and old mass individual. Right. And as I said, next year we're going to rebrand it, and we're going to, I don't want to give the name of the rebranding. As I said, we have already done our postmortem on the executive standpoint. We are now awaiting the meeting with the mass band leaders, the Calypsonians, to do that postmortem. And then on the 11th of November, when we're having the prize giving ceremony, we are going to rebrand it. We are going to relaunch. We are going to actually launch for Cornucopia 2 for 2023 one time. So you're going to get the full works of what we're going to do. We don't stick. We don't stick at all. All our books are in place and everything. Anytime we're called upon for any, any scrutiny or anything, we are ready to give what it is. So I think on the 11th of November, you will hear what we have to do and what we'll have to rebrand it. But otherwise, Cornucopia was a success because the event successfully came off and we had the support of the mass bands and some of the sponsors who were there so far.
Now, how important is it that we have different competitions leading up to Carnival for our artists?
It is important because I think when you look at Calypso and mass band, we have to look at mass especially. It has been dead for 2 years because of the COVID. You cannot want these mass bands to produce mass and no funding. But even though you're giving them the funding, it's only because I start to come on TV and start to pong them. They executed some of these Calypso monarch, these soca monarch, the junior monarch that they said they was not going to do it. They were adamant they're not going to do it. It's only because I started talking. If I did not start talking, they would have never done some of these shows. And even the night of our show for Cornucopia, how you as the secretary could call a meeting with the mass band leaders at 6 o'clock when you know my show is supposed to start at 6 o'clock. So there was a lot of sabotaging, but it didn't work. It worked for them, but it didn't work for us. At the end of the day, we have to get serious. It's all a we thing. This is not just your thing and this is you to tap your shoulder and say, okay, I did a carnival. No. The events here, as I said, we need to market the events. All promoters need to know how we're working on these parties. How we're going to say, you're going to have 4 parties in one night, but is it from 9 to 6, 6 to 2? Then we go like that instead of having all parties clashing and things. So I think we have a lot of work to do, and in the Tobago space going forward, we don't have time for the negativity, who don't like who don't want to promote who. We all have to help each other and we have to promote each other in order for Tobago to go forward, because it's not my thing, it's not the THA thing, it's not the PDP thing, whatever. It's all a we thing, and we have to go forward like that. So,
what were the reactions from those who participated in the competition for Cornucopia?
Listen, we had a ball. We enjoyed it. One of the famous performers for the night was Miss Genevieve Hall, Lady Legacy. Everybody came out to see her. She took off her wig. She was, listen, that was it. We need to see that performance. And I think we will ask her to give a performance on that same, the 11th of November. People literally came out to see her. And it was like, it was good. Everybody who were there enjoyed themselves. They're still talking about it. I see the live keep on sharing. I've seen the videos sharing all over the place. People commenting and stuff and things. And it was good. And as I said, for me, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed what I put off. And the people who I put off this fight did this for the Calypsonians, I did this for the mass bands. And these were the Calypsonians who were rejected. and who were not picked, and their songs were phenomenal. Their songs had meaning to it, and I'm glad that persons who came out heard the meaning of these calypsonians and what they had to offer, and that was really good. The mass band, the production, the jab on it, it was amazing. It was amazing. We did not get the people turn out, but the performances, and as I said, who were there, they enjoyed themselves, and I think I leave it up to them to tell you how they feel, and I think you will have that interview with them when on that day to see how they felt and let them give their part of it. But otherwise, I am really thankful for the support from Tobago Updates. I'm thankful for the support from the mass band and calypsonians who really, stick with me. We know we didn't have any funding, we don't have any funding, and I said to them, I said, whatever funding becomes available, it may not be the price structure that we wanted, but we're going to make sure that everybody gets something after, and that is what I'm committed to do, and it's going to happen on the 11th of November.
All right, great. And now moving forward, as we're getting ready to wrap this interview, what do you want the THA, or the organizers, I should say, of the Tobago Carnival to know for 2023? What is one thing that you want to see happen to make 2023 a bigger success than we saw in 2022?
Accountability for the spending of the Tobago House of Assembly's funding, which is the Tobago people money. And with that being said, we also want to see that the Tobago people, the Tobago promoters, the Tobago artists have a greater respect in how you treat with them going forward. Let them be a part. If there's a Tuco president, if there's a mass band president, if there's a pan president, if there are people in Tobago, think about your own first. Use your own first. Because in the beginning you rejected and say this is not a Trinidad thing, but this is the same Trinidad that actually saved them. Because if you pull out these masks from Trinidad and pull out these revelers from Trinidad, the place would have been empty. So going forward, the THE need to come down from there, settle themselves, do a proper postmortem, and go forward with everybody working together, right? And on that note, the Buku cool down, we having a Buku cool down called Jam Nude, and Buku from today on the Buku beach from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. That is the cool down that you don't want to miss. We have jet skis, they have refreshment crab and dumpling, they have drinks, we have a lime in there. Come and cool down. If you know you didn't go to school, you didn't go to work, come down to Buku. That is the place to be. I am going to take off the shades when I get down to the beach, because right now I'm looking very sleepy and my eyes are totally red. I have not slept because Sunday school was a masterpiece last night. So, to wind things down, let's get down to Buku from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. Enjoy yourself. It is free. Come and enjoy yourself. Enjoy what Buku has to offer, and I'm thanking the young men who actually put this together. Sheepy, well, I call him Sheepy, so that's his nickname. Everybody knows who Sheepy is. He did a tremendous job by putting this together along with his team, and I tell him I'm going to big him up this morning. So everybody, Buku is the place to be. Come down to Buku Beach facilities. Go down to the beach from 1 to 9 p.m. today. We're going to have a cool long. Enjoy yourself. And thank you, Candice, and thank you everybody for supporting Carnival THA. We have a lot of work to do, and I'm willing to work with you all once you all want to work with me.
All right, and on that note, that's how we're going to have to leave it this morning. But viewers, we still have a lot more coming up for you on the program, so don't go anywhere, and we'll be back after this break.
Master Fee.
Master Fee here.
How you going? It's Alan the Entertainer.
Who?
It's Alan the Entertainer.
Who?
Alan of Million Laughs. So Alan, you want to get a strainer?
No, ma. I'm calling to tell you about the comedy commerce. Yeah, the comedy commerce show in Tobago.
I know that. I told you I
November
want
the
to
5th.
come. In Trinidad. How are you going to get that? That is quite in Tobago.
Getting what?
The strainer, Alan.
Back to Tobago November the 5th. So don't worry to come now,
it's not a problem, you know. I will
You hear
come
me?
for you.
Don't come now. Ma? Ma? Ma?
Taxi.
Ma
You
Sefi?
going shopper, Tobago?
Our national borders, our first step to security, but a possible access point for guns, drugs, crime. If it does not look right, do the right thing. Call Crime Stoppers anonymously. 800-8477. Report possible border crime.
Whole Life helps me secure their future, provides financial protection with added benefits. Whole Life, the affordable financial benefits plan. Tattoo Life, guaranteed protection.
Advertise with Tobago Updates. Call 284-6597. If you have a small or large business, we can get your information in front of the masses. Reach our rapidly growing viewership on Facebook and YouTube. Promote your brand in Trinidad and the Caribbean through M&E TV Now and Gayel. Yes, we can build unique ads for your business. Call now 284-6597 and advertise with us.
If you see or know about a crime, report a crime safely and anonymously. Call 800-TIPS. Help stop crime. You can play your part safely and anonymously. Report a crime. Earn a reward. Call 800-TIPS. Help stop crime. Be a hero. Champion. Fearless citizen. Be a crime stopper safely and anonymously. Call 800-TIPS. Help stop crime.
Assured helped me to cope with the unexpected, provides financial help for final expenses. Rest Assured, the affordable financial comfort plan. Tattoo Life, guaranteed protection.
Never ever worry, don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry, if you're nice can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tattoo will always be here for you.
Tattoo, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Lifespan is the affordable critical illness plan you need. Cover expenses up to $1 million. Tattoo Life, guaranteed protection.
Never ever worry, don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry, if your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tattoo will always be here for you.
Tattoo, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Hey. Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candace and Denasia. Let's go, go. It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Now we're switching gears this morning and we're moving on to talk about a special event that's coming within our space with the Shekinah Dance Ministry. And on set we have with us Miss Sharon Forrester George, and she is the director of Shekinah Dance Ministry, as well as Miss Marva Berkeley, who is in a supporting role.
Yes.
Good morning and welcome to you guys.
Good morning.
All right, so first of all, tell me about that event that you guys are having coming up shortly. Good prayer, praise, and pageantry.
Okay, good morning, Tobago.
My name is Sharon Forrester George, as Candice would have mentioned, and I am the founder of the Shekinah Dance Ministries. And we will be celebrating 3 years come this November here. And I went to the Lord about this, and I was, just in a prayerful mood, and this is what I came up with. Well, this is what I come out of it. And I think it's timely because even before that, I didn't know what carnival was going on, when to come in October and all that. So I think it's like, I was like, Lord, what kind of setup thing is this one, But I thank God for obedience, and that is why I am here, right? The prayer, praise, and pageantry, it's one to show Tobago that we as dance ministers, we as music artists, as we call them, right? We are called by God to do what we do. We look forward to serve Tobago as we continue to. Now, the Shekinah Dance Ministry has been operating for the past 3 years. And it's only by the grace of God that we are still standing, because we give all honor to Him. Yeah, and in this coming together with this prayer, praise, and pageantry, it's just to showcase the glory. Yes. It's just to showcase the glory and the presence, yes, of the Lord, right? And we want to invite the public of Tobago, even Trinidad, to come out and celebrate. It's a celebration praise match. It's a match that you just want to be a part of, not just the body of Christ, not just the church fraternity, but once you want to praise and worship and dance before the Lord, we open it. Now, this is how it's going to go down, right? Now, I'm trying not to be nervous, guys.
Oh, it's okay.
You're fine, go on. So I'm just reading from the flyer, and it's there, right? So we have prayer, praise, and pageantry. Dance leaders, worship dance teams come out on Sunday, 27th of November, right? Now this starts at 3 p.m. sharp. And we know at times, on Sundays, most of us worship on Sundays. So it might be a little stretch, but Tobago, we got this, right? So from 3 p.m., we are asking you all to come out and support us in our 4 different locations. Now, the prayer, praise, and march are going to start at the same time, right? 3 p.m., we're going to gather at, the first place we're going to gather is at a port, right? And we're asking each participant to come out and wear white to support. The second gathering will be at the Coast Guard Base Junction, which is yellow and green. The third gathering will be at the Wilson Road traffic light, yeah, and that is blue and purple. And uptown by Tambourine Square, red and orange. Now, you might say, what about all these colors? Well, the thing is, colors and numbers and objects are a big thing in we portraying and expressing our movements to the heart of dance. And also, God created all this for us to enjoy it. And I believe it's time that we could come together in unity. The number 7, it stands for completion. Yes. You see 7 groups, right? And also, I want to encourage the public that this is not a Sharon thing or to be dance thing. It's just for, we are inviting all church, the body of Christ. It doesn't matter what denomination you are. Once you're a Christian, born again believer, living for the Lord, as we would say, just put on your dress, put on a color, come out, support us, because we really need your support. We cannot do this on our own. And yes, we know that we're not doing it on our own. The Lord is with us. But we need the community in hand, because we intend to lift up Tobago. We have intercession will be going on at these spaces as we start and come through the streets of Scarborough, right? And if you look at it from where we're coming from, uptown, from the Coast Guard, and then we come in Wilson Road, actually make a cross, eh? So the blood of Jesus is covering this island, and we want to just showcase and just thank God, for keeping us in our right frame of mind throughout this entire pandemic. Listen, we have nothing else more just to give God praise and glory, because, listen to me, all glory, praise, and honor belongs to Him. So come out to Tobago and support us.
Support us. And there's, of course, a lot of symbolism in what you guys are going to portray on the 27th. I know Auntie Marva. Okay, well, I call her Auntie Marva because I've known her since I was a little child.
Right.
But, you know, how important has dance ministry been for the church or the churches in Tobago over the years?
It's very, very important because dance is one of the highest expressions of worship and of joy that we can participate in. And if we go to the Bible, we realize that when David was bringing the Ark of the Covenant back home, it was taken, and in a foreign place, and he was bringing the ark back home. David was rejoicing so much, and he was the king at that time. And David literally danced his clothes off. And so much so that his wife, when she saw him coming in with the Ark of the Covenant, she, in her heart, she despised him because it's like, how could you get so, naked before the people, But he was bringing the Ark of the Covenant back home and he was very joyful. So dance is a great expression of worship, and it's a very important aspect of what we do as we worship God. So you have the singing, which is worshiping God, our lifestyle, our obedience. But dance is a real joyous expression. And what Sharon just shared the information on that, it's going to be like 3-4 things happening like at the same time, simultaneously. And then there's going to be such a mighty coming together and praying and praising God. So it's going to be great. So Tobago, I encourage you to come out and be part of it. I myself, I do dance worship, and you have all the flags and you have the banners and you have the fancy clothes and all that. And it's really just lifting up the name of Jesus.
And now, Sharon, I mean, as we're getting ready for Sunday, how much of the churches are involved with the Shekinah dance group? Because I know there's a lot of people from the various denominations, which is quite impressive that we're able to unite in such a way that are a part of Shekinah ministry, and then we're going to see on display on Sunday. Well, on the 27th.
No problem. So they're quite, if we have a good response this far, we would have sent out emails and invitations to as much pastors and ministers that we know in the gospel, and the response has been tremendously supportive. So we thank God for that. There's a number of dance groups that are ready to take the road. We have CTAF that will be on with us, joining us. We have Matrola, we have Vessels of Honor. We have different ministries too numerous to mention, but we have a wide support. What we know and we need in this time right now is support in prayer, right? Because we know that in everything we do, yes, we might say it's free, but the thing is, it's not free to the person hosting it.
Of course, everything comes at a cost.
So we encourage the public, as we come out and we ask for your assistance in getting this done, because there's a lot behind the scenes planning. We thank you in advance for what you will sow into these ministries as the project will unfold. And we just urge you to just keep us in prayer. Prayer is vital, it's important, and we cannot do anything without it.
And if people want to get in contact with you to offer support, how can they get in contact with you?
My telephone number is 685-7741. Yes.
You can repeat it again.
And there's another contact number added, 309-8692.
All right. Great. So, of course, viewers, we have the Shekinah prayer, praise, and pageantry coming up on the 27th of November. So, you want to come out and support Shekinah Ministries and be a part of their little revolution here happening in Tobago.
Yes, bring out the congregation, bring out your friend, family, and foes, as we say. Bring your flag, your rag, bring anything that you could wave a praise unto the Lord. Come out and support us, wearing one of our colors, all right?
And rejoice before the Lord. We have enough, now coming out of COVID, we have enough to give God praise and thanks for. So we need to stop and just praise Him.
Yes. All right, viewers, want to thank you so much for being on with us this morning and to sharing us with that information, both Sharon and Ms. Barbara Berkeley. And viewers, so that's how we're going to wrap the show this morning. So it was quite an eventful morning, and we've got a lot more coming up for you throughout the week. So you want to stay tuned to Tobago updates. And of course, we'll be back at it again tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. with the morning show. So you don't want to miss it. All right, viewers, thank you and have a wonderful and productive day. So see you then.
Thanks for having us.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and